Allow me to destroy your critical infrastructure so that your Uber Eats deliveries take 35 minutes longer. Because they have to take the other way. But if I destroy that bridge too, then it'll take 35 hours. Screw you for living right in the delivery zone where there's 2 bridges that run right to your house. Oh, I'm so sorry. Start recording. I'll do this again. Piece of shit. Dotemu, I've come to bargain. I want your Mountain King. Ah, perfect. I see we're going to get along just fine. Unless something like this were to happen. That wasn't a threat I missed. Greetings and salutations. I am Draskin, and welcome to Raptor Call of the Shadows via butt dial. Or speed dial, depending on how clumsy you're feeling. This is an old game, as you might be able to tell. It's quite jaded and pixely and pointy around the edges. This game was released in 1994. It is a shmup. Just like I am, I'm a shmup. It's a shoot 'em up that is fun and has a lot of explodey times, and it's great fun. I'm gonna kind of overlay some of the basics to you of this game so that you understand whence I came from. That's good grammar. You can change what you think you look like by clicking the ID. I wish it was that simple, but it is not in reality. The name and call signs are basically useless. The call sign is arguably more important than the name because the name may be what you legally are called, i.e. in this case, my parents hated me. I don't have any. Call sign, I want to upgrade to be more funny because I don't think I'm that funny. There, Lamau. Here on Choose Difficulty, you can have nerd glasses to show just how green you actually are. Training mode, rookie, veteran with a cigar and everything, and elite is just dead. And the difficulty beyond elite, if you can't handle it, is just to abort the mission. That's actually pretty accurate. If it was harder than elite is hard enough, okay? If it was harder than that, it just, you know. So the way the difficulties work in this game is training mode is basically tricycle mode. You can only complete 4 waves of any given sector before it starts you at the beginning and says, man up, and then you have to actually do it on rookie difficulty. And every time you finish all 9 waves of any given sector, it will bump up the difficulty of whatever next sectors you do. So if you finish Sector 1, which has a name, but we'll get to that because it's more convenient and funny and kind of fitting if I go there rather than just tell you what it is now. But if you finish Sector 1 on Rookie, it will make it so that if you do Sector 1 again, because it will make you start over again, sorry to say, you will carry the stuff forward. You will start on Veteran, and then when you complete any sector to Wave 9 and you complete that on Veteran, it will bump you up to Elite. So be prepared for that. It will get very difficult and you'll cry a lot. At least I will. I just aborted myself. So that is terribly phrased. You need to work on your phrasing. Game, not me, I'm fine. I have a mission already loaded called Drastis because I had to go to Drastis Measures to make sure that I knew what I was doing before we played. In here is the home base of operations with only 3 rooms. A supply room, the one and only place where you buy and sell things that you may or may not need. You can buy as many nukes, I'm just kidding, you only have a limit of 5 nukes because if you had any more than that, everything would cease to exist. Air-to-air missiles, so when you feel particularly precocious and want to destroy the air. Phase shield, so that you can protect yourself from unknown baddies more than just having more health. Plasma cannons are great. Bombs are also kind of useless, actually. Air-to-ground missiles, these are basically just cash money. They're useless. They shoot ground things better than other things, but because they're green, they're better for selling. Dumbfire missiles are me in a missile format. Micro missiles are small but very powerful, and if you use them correctly, they're very effective. That's not a euphemism at all. Missile pod is a pod of missiles. They need to stick together, or otherwise they'll, not be able to migrate south for the winter. Auto-track minigun. This is one of the first weapons you're going to want to buy because it'll allow you to shoot in 360 degrees. That's a bit of an over-exaggeration, but you can shoot things that are next to you rather than directly in front of you, which will help, because if you're not standing in front of something, or flying in front of something, you're not likely to get hit, although that depends. Power disruptor, it disrupts power, even though it doesn't do it very well because these guys are more powerful than you could possibly imagine. Laser turret is basically the side shooty gun auto turret, but more powerful and very good at shooting things in the sky, but not very good at shooting things on the ground. In fact, it's so bad at it, it doesn't even bother. It doesn't even think it's worth the light of day. Pulse cannon, this is cool because it's like shooting razor blades through the sky, but I don't remember if it's actually any good. The plasma ray, also known as the death ray, is a single lane, stay in your lane, fuck off cannon, and it's pretty good. It doesn't destroy most targets in one shot. This is false advertising. This twin double fuck off cannon is actually very good, and you'll want this by the time you get to the outer regions sector. Then you start all over again at the beginning with health, and then you can also sell your basic bitch ammunition if you really want to. I don't know why you would. Crashing into things is not the recommended course of action because it's very expensive to patch a dent that big, especially if you die. So here you go, Bravo Sector, Tango Sector, Outer Regions. Bravo Sector is when you finish it, you can pat yourself on the back in a sea of bravado. Mostly the biomes you'll encounter here in this sector are deserts, some ocean, and deserts. So sand, wet sand, and sand. Tango Sector is where you learn to dance. You go there and there's a jungle. There are also urban areas, but no one cares about that. There are cities and stuff, and they're very fun to explode and blow up, but you didn't hear me say that. Outer Regions is everywhere outside of the realm of imagination for everyone living on the North American continent. So the moon, which is made of cheese, Mars, which is not made of cheese and is actually where demons come from, Jupiter, and that one planet that everyone really loves to make fun of, Pluto. That's the one that everyone likes to make fun of, right? And autopilot, it's like, go here, do there. You press that whenever you can't figure out which of the 3 places you want to go to. But I would recommend that you start with Bravo Sector. Do a cheesy thing if you're playing this on Elite straight off the get-go, because it is not exactly a walk in the park, because you don't really do any walking in this game. So yeah, here's the auto track minigun turret thing, and it's very helpful. It might make it look like this is a walk in the park, but trust me, as I just said, you don't walk in this game. It is not a walk in the park, especially in the outer regions. What you'll want to aim for to make your life as easy as possible is to get the auto tracking. I've said this a few times, but I want to be a little bit more specific. The auto tracking miniguns for when you've finished Bravo Sector, or at least when you're kind of midway through. And then you'll want to get the laser pew pew thing, the one that also auto tracks. You'll want that by the time you get to Tango Sector. And then you'll want the twin fuck off cannons when you get to the outer regions, because the auto minigun makes the Bravo Sector a walk in the cake. The Tango Sector will become, with the laser pointy tracky pew pew, becomes a cake in the walk, and outer regions with the twin fuck off cannons becomes bearable. Trust me, the outer regions is makes me want to go outer regions. It wants me to make me go outside and punch grass. So in order to cheesy squippy flippy your way through things, you want to grab the air superiority missiles and then just leave the mission and go and sell them about 50 times. Or more than that. It's going to take more than that to get your hands on the auto-tracking miniguns. There is a slightly more efficient place. Since we just talked about the air-to-air missiles, there is the cash money ground missiles that sell for about 20,000 credits more than the air missiles, so they're good to sell as well, because that's all they're good for. And hence the fact that they're green with that little gold ring, it's because they're bars of cash. It's a symbolism. The devs knew what they were doing. Speaking of the devs, I don't know why I didn't mention this earlier, one of the devs behind this game, or the dev behind this game, I don't remember, he is making a new game of Raptor, called Raptor Remixed, I think. And he is actively streaming his development process over on the YouTubes. So I have a link in the description if you want to go and support him, to let him know how fucking awesome this game was and still is. And check out what he is doing on his new game. And you can tell him I sent you if you really want to, but that's completely optional. Just like every other piece of information I'm about to tell you. So we'll go over the heads-up display, because in order to give you a bit of a heads-up as to what everything means. The topmost portion of the screen, with the numbers on it, goes to show how happy you are, or how happy you wish you could be. Oh, hey, look, it's the boss. I'm going to talk about the bosses a little bit later, but for right now, I just want him to get off my screen. Get away from... Thank you. I'll talk more about them later. There's an important plot device that I came up with about 5 minutes ago, and I want to talk about it when we get to it, but I got to get back into Bravo sector to tell you about the heads-up display. So the top of the screen shows how much chaos and destruction you've enacted and accumulated over the course of your journeys flying above the planet and destroying everyone, including innocent civilians and buildings, because the buildings are worth more than everything else. And you can use this money to buy the weapons in which you can enact more chaos and damage and destruction and tragedy. Because while you can pick up some weapons in unsuspecting canisters just perfectly conveniently placed in this single flight path, there are better weapons to be purchased with actual moolah. Unfortunately, you cannot obtain whatever guns these guys have that allows them to shoot corn pops everywhere, but I wish you could. That would be very nice. But they would be probably pretty useless, though. So yeah, once you've gotten enough money to be able to buy the twin fuck-off cannons, that stops mattering at that point. On the rightmost side of the screen, there's a bar where you can buy some drinks. I'm sorry, there's a bar with light-up things on it, which shows how much hull you have, which is basically your actual health. The bar on the left side of the screen shows how much protective outer hull shield strength you have. The topmost left corner of the screen, that's a very helpful description, where you see those 3 Superman S's, that goes to show how super you are. When you have more of them, you go to higher Super Saiyan levels. It actually just means that you can layer your shields, so that you can have more shields if it happens to be cold outside and keep yourself warm in the event of an alien invasion. I don't know where the fuck these guys come from. Don't ask me questions like that. I'm gonna fuck off this dump truck. On the bottom left side of the screen shows your capacity for total nuclear destruction and nuclear warfare. You can only ever hold 5 of these at once, and when you do, it basically claps the entire screen. I wish I was joking about that, but it actually kind of hurts my eyes. And it hurts my ears, just like everything else in this. Despite the fact, there is one single explosion sound for every single destruction thing that happens. But it's so satisfying. I don't know what it is about it. It's just so satisfying having your eardrums exploded by the same sound millions of times per second. It's really quite a marvel. The top rightmost hand corner of the screen shows what fuck-off weapon you have at the time, as if that needed to be that well explained. And yeah, that's basically it. You know the game now. Good luck. You can't destroy that bridge, unfortunately. I wish. Alright, so this boss does not have any ability to track you like every other boss in the entire game. It's easily the worst boss in the entire game. I rate this a 2 out of 10. I'm gonna switch to my twin fuck-off cannon so you can see just how much I think of this. I don't really think much of it. It died pretty quickly, and now I can no longer smooth talk it. So I'm gonna buy some more protective shielding so that I can make more irrationally bad decisions by flying into things that I don't like. Or flying into things that I want to actually take out on a date. Wait, what? Excuse you? Excuse me? What? So here's the pew-pew gun that shoots only things that are in the air because it likes to discriminate against things that fly. And, well, actually, no, it discriminates against things that can't fly, because we live in a society. I need to sell those at some point. The twin fuck-off cannons are overkill for this particular area, but I will only use them on bosses, because the bosses like using and like being on the receiving end of twin large fuck-off cannons. If you impress them enough, maybe they'll be nice to you, and I don't know. I didn't really think that through. Ah, the cash money missiles. You know, having thought about it a little bit, well, for one, I want to point out how comedic, or comedic, depending on how you pronounce things. When those enemies there that like moving around a bit too much and expending way too much fuel, when you destroy them, they literally turn into stars, and I don't think making them see stars was exactly what they intended by that, but it's cool because you can pick up those stars and then sell them for profit at the Emporium, Caborium, and get more fuck-off weapons. But the thing that I wanted to ask was, when they developed missile technology, when they developed missiles in general, did the guy who named them, what did he think he was funny or something? Because it's like the greatest troll. Oh, what are these called? Missiles. What do they do? Don't miss. Like, haha, you're funny. It's like calling a gun that doesn't shoot. You call it a... I don't actually know. I didn't think about that. But it's like the guy that developed bullets and called them bullets because they're small bulls that cannot be stopped. You piss them off, you trigger them out of their little stable, they fly fast at something and hit them, and they probably fly twice as fast if the person is wearing red, because bulls don't like the color red. I don't know why. Now, the enemy variety in this game is pretty good, actually, but you will see some overlap with certain ships. Though I will have to say, the ship designs in this game are really good. This guy has a trifecta of tracking baubles. That's totally what they're called. They're called baubles now. I don't like them very much, because they don't really allow me to kind of explore, and... I mean, this is pretty rigid. Don't hit me with your corn puffs. I don't want your cereal. I was hoping to destroy that pickup truck, because when I did a recording attempt before this one, I managed to destroy it as I was leaving, so I could just say that it was the pickup fuck-off truck. I love the music in this because it makes me feel like the enemies are doing a little dance. I need to sell the cash money rockets because I made this mistake last time. If I don't sell them, it'll fuck off my... it'll mess up my efficiency algorithm, and mean that I will not get the world record or fastest F-22 in the West completion of this game. That matters to me a great deal, you understand, because I need to show these bosses who's boss, and if I can't get to them and kill them fast enough, because I unfortunately switched to the wrong weapon and embarrassed myself in front of the boss, well, they're not gonna think that's very kosher. They're not gonna think that's very cool. They're gonna be like, haha, look at that nerd. Look at that fucking nerd. He thinks he can he thinks he's people. No, I don't think I'm people. I'm an F-22 Raptor. I don't give a flying fuck what you think. The only flying fucks I offer are in the form of twin laser cannons, which I tried to swap to in order to make my joke land better, with more impact, and lo and behold, the cash money rockets and its brother, the not cash money rockets, ruined my joke. Exactly like now the bosses are gonna laugh at me. I had one job, and I ruined it. These guys are annoying, because they like to conveniently plot two courses. One, straight down. Two, wherever you happen to be at the time of the crime. And then they can fly backwards for Christmas and crash into you, and it really hurts. Alright, now I'm gonna get some more energy, because you get them out of there. I really shouldn't be able to get as many nukes as I have, but because I'm being responsible and not using them yet, I think it's okay that I'm allowed more than I can carry. This game really seems to want to trust me with nukes, with weapons of mass distraction. Yeah, these enemies in particular, the ones that move to the left and right like that with this particular music, I don't know why, when I hear this music, I always think of them. They just make such a keen impression on me. They're really rememberable. That's just a box of stuff that's probably illegal, but I'm gonna take it anyway and not sell it because I want to know what's in the box. And then probably keep it for my own collection. You never know, there might be some rare Yu-Gi-Oh cards in there. Alright, next boss, I think. Yes, it is. This one is shaped like a... I don't know. This one has flame breath. It could probably use some Tic Tacs, actually. I don't know what else to say about this, other than the fact that I like how he's shaped, but it's not enough to change my mind. I'm not sparing you with the fuck off cannon. Okay. Wave 5, where the music takes a more interesting, intense turn. But things are ultimately kind of the same, but we will start going over a bit of a foresty area, I think, as a prelude to Tango Sector. But don't forget, this is still mostly a desert. I say so because I can. I love destroying them because their explosion effect is really cool, and that's about it. These guys, it's really kind of, one thing that always bothered me a little bit is, like, I know this is top down, so this is not the actual orientation of most of these ships, but these particular ship designs in particular made me used to think, oh my god, Boba Fett? Slave 1? Boba Fett? Boba Fett? And then he hits his jetpack and dies almost instantly. He shows up for like all of 2 movies and then dies in a scene, and then it's terrible. Oh, sorry, was that a spoiler? Well, too bad. The movie came out like 50,000 years ago. You can't change what I've just said. You can't unhear it. If you haven't seen Star Wars by now, I don't know how, because well, actually, I do know how. Well, no, I don't. Can you please explain? What kind of a rock have you been living under? The weird thing about energy when you pick it up when you have shields is that it doesn't give you anywhere near the amount that it would if you didn't have any shields. Because they don't want to make it too easy on you now, but it doesn't really matter, does it? Seriously, destroying this many enemies just never gets old. This is one of the most replayable and satisfying shoot 'em ups I've ever had the pleasure of playing. And stuff just, the more chaotic and ridiculous it gets, the more satisfying it is to make it through the waves. Allow me to destroy your critical infrastructure so that your Uber Eats deliveries take 35 minutes longer, because they have to take the other way. But if I destroy that bridge too, then it'll take 35 hours. Screw you for living right in the delivery zone where there's 2 bridges that run right to your house. Oh, I'm so sorry. Now, this boss is one of the ones that the cash money Michels will actually probably help you with. This bitch can't move. It also hurts a lot. This one is a harder one to avoid. So I'm gonna ask it nicely to fuck off with extra fuck off power. I would drop a nuke, but that would be disgusting. I would also drop a nuke, but that would be too easy. Actually, the nukes kind of don't really do a whole lot. They're more for kind of clearing out areas when they get very chaotic. What the fuck is English? How do I speak it? Help. These guys are doing a little dance. I know they show up in wave 1 and they do that little jiggy dance. There, do a little jiggy. These guys are annoying. They put proximity mines everywhere, which proximity means how close you get to it. So the closer I get to hurting its feelings, I just picked up to, oh fuck. I forget these guys exist. They shoot pure fire out of their breath. And it does actually have a propensity to eat through your shield, so try not to. If you can help it, try your best not to get too close to anything that spits fire. And then leaves these little spider bomb looking things behind, because those hurt just about as much. As you can see, I started some time ago with 5 layers of protective shielding. And now I only have 2 layers of protective shielding. I don't know what the hell these are supposed to be, but they're really fucking weird shaped. They're probably the Nomax before Dream Theater came up with the idea. I really don't like them. I'm almost out of protective layering. How will I stay warm for the winter? I don't know. Send in your suggestions. I'm gonna throw out a nuke because I might as well. Ow, my fucking retinas. I just nuked an entire city block because I felt like it, and because I had too many nukes already on standby, and collecting another one would have put me over my limit. And they would have probably charged me a fee. Now that we're on wave 6, I think, yeah, we deal with multiple bosses per wave now, which is unfortunate, and it gives us more of a chance to ask them nicely to leave us alone. Like that. However, one of the main plot devices that I realize this game is actually about is, if you get the twin cannons early enough, you can maybe convince and ask the bosses nicely to take them out on a date. Because that's what taking them out means, correct? Yes? You can't change my mind. Sending out another nuke. Oh, my retinas. That is a carrier shuttle, also referred to as a carrier pigeon of the future. Also, one habit you will want to get into is preemptively looking ahead to see where their shadows are and shooting them before they come on screen, especially later on. In the later areas, some of the enemies have fuck off weapons of their own, okay? And you don't want to be on the end of that. And some of them shoot the moment they show up on the screen, which is very not good for you if you happen to be staring down the barrel of a big cannon. And you didn't happen to want to be there at the time. Oh, this guy has 2 flamey, shooty things. I'd rate it more of like 11 out of 10. It's still not very good, but it's getting there. It's close. Ow! I clapped my jet cheeks. I'm changing the name of the dumbfire missiles to dummy missiles. Even though I didn't use them. That's terrible. Shut up, you. Wave 7 with 1 protective shielding and too many useless guns. I'll show you what each of the weapons do because I can, and I'm very generous. Die, pigeon. Okay, so this is the pew pew laser thing that I think I showed off before. Here is the air-to-air missiles so that you can destroy everything that exists in the air. Here's the cash money missiles that really don't do much except to innocent buildings that haven't done anything wrong. And you can see how effective they are when there are no buildings to be found. Here's the twin fuck-off laser, and the dumbfire missiles, which offends me at the fact that I'm even using them. Because they're dumb. And if you use them, you're dumb. Because it's dumb. You know, I'm one of those types of people that takes it as personal offense whenever I read one of those books that says insert subject for dummies. Because it's assuming that I'm a dummy for reading the book. And I'll have you know, I am not a dummy, even though I'm firing dummy missiles. Because they're good at shooting everything and terrible at actually destroying everything. That's why. I'm turning back to my auto Thor gun. Turning back to Thor's hammer. Now, I believe I mentioned this, but if I didn't mention it, I will mention it again for my friends in the back. There's no one back there, actually. Basically, I think I mentioned this, but if I haven't, I'll do it again. You'll want the auto rocket. No, I think I mentioned it already. I'm not mentioning it again. I'm just kidding. I'm mentioning it again. So you're gonna want the Thor, this gun, then this gun for Tango, and then this gun for outer regions. I think I mentioned that already, so I'm not gonna mention it again until I inevitably mention it again. Ah! Turrets based in the floor that are hidden until you get too close. What a novel concept. I've never seen that before. I wonder if they came up with it just now.
We've got this brand new technology. It shows up and shows itself the closer the enemy gets. You'll never see it coming.
Except the fact that when you're shooting endlessly like you're recommended to do in this game, you can kind of see when something is hidden before it actually shows itself to you, because it'll, like, you'll be shooting a random patch of ground and it's like, why is that taking damage? Why is that stopping my bullets? Nothing stops my bullets. And then your answer becomes all clear to you. It's always recommended to try and get rid of the tracking turrets, because, especially in later waves, they can make your life a living life. And by that, I mean completely fucking miserable. All right. Whoa, 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 whoa. At least ask my name first. That's what I have to say about that. Okay, now I'm going to buy more shieldies because I keep making terrible decisions and getting myself into haphazard situations. And I'm going to sell the air superiority missiles, the cash money missiles, the dummy thick muscles. Yeah, and that's that. Now I go back and go to Wave 8 of Bravo Sector, where we will start to see ships that don't belong here. They actually belong in Tango Sector, but it's the developer's way of being like, hey, check out what you'll actually see later in the next area. Because it's all interconnected. All is one. One is all. And before you know it, you'll understand that everything that happened here is the result of a cube. Oh shit. Don't hurt me, thank you. Ah, I think there are enemies there, I can't really tell. They look like airplanes, but they seem to be brandished in camouflage. Meaning I can't see them. That's the most ass-backwards, roundabout, roundhouse kick way of explaining a joke I have ever had to go with. Wow, I wonder if there's something hidden there. Couldn't possibly tell. There's the box of illegal goods. There's energy, which doesn't give you very much if you have shields already, because that's very fair and nice. I'm destroying the research buildings so that no more research can be conducted about anything. Imagine if they research at a research laboratory. Oh my god, what are you? Oh my god, it has 2 cockpits. Well, for that, I have 2 cannons. Ow, there. I have 2 fuck-off cannons for your 2 cockpits. I hate that word. Why? Who came up with that? Who came up with that? Who came up with it? Just call it a cabin. That particular wave of planes is very hard to dodge. This wave of whatever the heck these are supposed to be is also a little bit annoying to dance around. That was bad. Ah, radioactive waste. That's basically what these guys excrete and would probably need to get checked by a doctor. Ah, this one is shaped like a surfboard, but it's no match for my fuck-off cannons. See, I told you. Nothing is a match for my twin fuck-off cannons, except a boss that will be excited to see them. Why would they be? Strange. Now we're on the final wave. I need to head to the pier, because I want a scenic view while I destroy the final boss. The main goal, really, of this is to get to the end, which is basically the same of any game. See, the ships there that just passed us, they show up in Tango Sector. It's a strategic reuse of assets. They set up that, hey, look at what you'll be seeing in the future, because everything is all connected, like I was saying about 5 seconds ago. Which is why all of the ships that were being destroyed that were dropping stars, they are part of the Allspark. Well, the Allspark more so gave them life. I don't know, I don't make the rules. I mean, I do, but not in this particular instance, I don't. Ah, you again. I thought I literally just destroyed you. Well, better fix that. You'll definitely want to deal with a lot of the mini-bosses as quick as you can. Maybe not as quick as I did, because I have twin fuck-off cannons, which the last boss really likes. I don't know why I keep mentioning that. Because if you don't deal with the mini-bosses fast enough, you will have to fight them along with all of the other enemies that want to encroach on your date. Because you're meeting them in a public place, right? You're having dinner at Denny's. Why you'd do that, I have no fucking idea. But let's just say, for sake of argument, you're out there and you're taking one of the bosses out for a nice picnic at Denny's. And then you've got these assholes encroaching in on your territory with proximity mines and flaming technology that burns you alive and cooks a mean steak. And then you just, you get embarrassed and ashamed, because then you try to switch to your twin fuck-off cannons when it's the right time to do that, after you've gotten enough heart points and good flags or something like that. Event flags, and then you just get embarrassed because you pulled out the wrong weapon. You pull out the cash money rockets instead, and then the final boss is a 3-seater CD-ROM. How do you make something like that up? Either way, I don't like how round it is. It's too curvular for me, so therefore, take my fuck-off cannons and fuck off promptly. We've destroyed the oil rig, so the world will be without energy for about 3 days. Because it's the only oil rig on the entire planet, apparently, or at least in this sector. Now I'm gonna have to read this quickly. You look back to watch the ruin of Lithos petroleum rigs fade to its smoke-filled distance. With this, not only have you left your mark, that's disgusting, but also paved the way for things to come on ocean. How the fuck do you pave the ocean? Your thoughts drift to missions ahead. Don't put thoughts in my head. Where greater offered odds, greater rewards. Fate has offered you a path to glory. The rest is up to you. How does it offer me a path on an ocean in which I just paved? You mind explaining that one to me? How does it offer me a path on that which I just paved to make a new path of my own? I don't need you to hand me out a path. I paved my own path, bitch. Either way, thank you for watching part 1 of Raptor, a complete mess of commentary. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will hope you will tango with me in the Tango Sector when we get there in the next episode. Yeah, I have 2 left feet, and they're both called twin laser fuck-off cannons.